Okay, so the agreement is sent out and we're waiting for the persons to sign that agreement. It's a digital process and a digital signature. In Sweden we're using bank ID to sign that, and the equivalent on the other markets. In the beginning of next year, that is Q1 2023, we will release a new admin page for managing and getting a nice overview of the corporate cards and all the card holders within the organization. This one will be found under Settings and Corporate Cards, where we say which users in the systems have a corporate card from Nordea. So first, there is one option that we can look at. The 3 dots is kind of the settings for this corporate card connection. And when I enrolled this card connection in the marketplace, I said that we only have corporate payment liability. And when we have corporate payment liability, we also want to set some default accounts. How should this be booked? If it's personal payment liability, then we use the kind of same payment methods that is configured in the system and the same kind of debit credit bookkeeping setup. But when we have the corporate payment liability, we have some default settings. And the credit row is kind of the normal, which account should be used as a credit account. The debit account is found under the category settings as normal. The debit for private transaction, basically that means when a user has made a purchase with their company card that has corporate payment liability, but it's a personal purchase, then the user can flag this expense as a private purchase, and it will be booked on this separate account. So I press save on this dialog and I'll add my first cardholder. So I click the add the cardholder button and I see a list of basically all users in the system. We start with Carol and say add selected users. I can of course do a multiple selection there. I will show you shortly. So since we only have corporate payment liability, it kind of suggests that one. We see that we have the default accounts which I set up in the previous settings dialog. But if this user should be booked on perhaps their own account numbers or in some way different from the default, you can check the override checkbox and set different accounts. But the most common way is, or common use case is that everyone is using the same one. So let's go with that. So now in the background, a call is sent to Nordea saying that, well, Carol, she has a card, please connect this user to the Findity service. What also happens in the background here is that Carol will also receive an email. Also that is sent from OpenCard. And it's called PDPC, which also is a consent agreement, since also Carol needs to say, well, I also approve that Nordea share my purchase information, my purchase transactions with both OpenCard and with Findity to enable me to get real-time expenses in this service. So before things will start appearing in Carol's service, she needs to approve and sign this agreement. And as I said before, we can also multi-select in this dialog to say that we want to enroll a bunch of users. So same dialog here, they all have the corporate payment liability cards. We shouldn't make any overrides on these, so we press save, and we are connected to these users as well. And all of these also will have received the PDPC agreement to be signed.